Family and friends of Burwood Heights Uniting Church, welcome. Welcome to our time of worship online. It is our hope and our prayer that you are keeping well and safe during this time of a pandemic that is lived with uncertainty and in faith. The world of faith is a world of the almost known, where the familiar and the foreign journey together, where things seen and things unseen remarkably demonstrate that the road to the sacred is paved by the ordinary. Today, the President of the Uniting Church in Australia, Reverend Sharon Hollis, invites us to join with the National Council of Churches in Australia in a national day of prayer for COVID-19, praying for all those experiencing the ongoing impacts of the pandemic. In doing so, we acknowledge the loss, the anxiety, fear, and uncertainty facing many people here and all over the world. We also acknowledge the many ways we can continue to be kind and compassionate to one another and being life-giving communities of faith within the contexts we all find ourselves. We know that vaccination is a key step to overcoming the challenges of COVID. Thank you to all who are already vaccinated, and thank you all who are making plans to do so. Our theme for today, invitation to humility. Invitation to humility, the solid foundation of all virtues and the surest sign of strength. Let us share God's peace with one another. The peace of God be with you always. Come as you are, let us join together, worshiping God, and let us sing to the God of salvation from Together in Song number 52.
Praise
On this National Day of Prayer for COVID-19, we share a prayer written by the President of the Church, Reverend Sharon Hollis. Let us pray. God of mercy and compassion, we pray for the world as across the globe we face the challenges of COVID. We give you thanks for those who care for the sick, for those who work on limiting the spread of the disease, and those who develop and administer vaccines. We remember before you all those affected by COVID. Comfort those who mourn the death of a loved one. Heal those who have COVID-19 or suffer the long-term effects of having had COVID. Sustain those who work in healthcare, testing, and vaccination. Encourage those who are supporting education remotely. Console those who must stay at home, and bless and protect those whose work is essential for our well-being. We long for a world where access to health care and vaccines are shared equitably. Strengthen the efforts of those who work to end COVID for all, and fill us with a desire to work for just and care for all. Amen.
Your word, O Lord, is a lamp to our feet, a light to our path. Two readings this morning, one from Paul's letter to the Ephesians and one from John's Gospel. I'm reading from Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 to 12. This is Paul's final message to the church at Ephesus. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his power. Put on the whole armour of God, so that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For our struggle is not against enemies of blood and flesh, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers of this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armour of God, so that you may be able to withstand on that evil day, and having done everything, to stand firm. Stand therefore, and fasten the belt of truth around your waist, and put on the breastplate of righteousness. As shoes for your feet, put in whatever will make you ready to proclaim the gospel of peace. With all of these, take the shield of faith, with which you will be able to quench all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Pray in the Spirit at all times in every prayer and supplication. To that end, keep alert and always persevere in supplication for all the saints. Pray also for me, so that when I speak, a message may be given to make known the boldness, the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in chains. Pray that I may declare it boldly, as I must speak. And the gospel reading is from John's Gospel, chapter 6, verses 56 to 59. Those who eat my flesh and drink my blood abide in me, and I in them. Just as the living Father sent me, and I live because of the Father, so whoever eats me will live because of me. This is the bread that came down from heaven, not like that which your ancestors ate, and they died. But the one who eats this bread will live forever. He said these things while he was teaching in the synagogue at Capernaum. And this is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
Invitation to humility. The bread of heaven and the whole armor of God we've just heard read are food and sustenance for inner strength, our source of courage and love, the characters known as humility. That's what we are invited to this morning. Humility, the solid foundation of all virtues and a sign of strength. John's Gospel was the last to be written around 20 to 30 years after Mark, Matthew, and Luke were written, and it represents an evolution or a maturing of beliefs about Jesus. The new reality that Christ, the Messiah, wasn't going to return anytime soon, the faith communities needed new teaching to sustain them. But in John's Gospel, Jesus is not teaching new concepts. He simply shares his experience in a way that resonates with our intuitive wisdom. He shares truth of his life that we also experience in ours, and our souls and spirit already know. We know the integrated wisdom that emerges out of a life that is lived courageously, with humility, and very often with vulnerability. We like certainty. We prefer what is strong, what's perfect, what's easy and convenient, what's infinite and never changes. And that's how many of us envision God, a strong, powerful, removed from suffering God. And Jesus comes along and invites us to our reality, where God is living with us in our highs and our lows of life, in both the beauty of creation, that is, in human beings and the natural world, as well as in pain, brokenness, and challenges. Jesus reminds us that humility makes us real. Humility draws out the best in ourselves. That where we are in our journey of life, who we meet, what situation we face, whether it's a global pandemic, political unrest, natural disasters, or simply well-being, it is our heart, our soul, and our spirit that hold our source of strength, our source of courage, and our source of love with which to live life. Jesus extends us an invitation to tap into the resources we already have within and to embrace the fact that our inherent dignity as image of God does not equal a plain sailing and problem-free, suffering-free life, but to recognize that we have the capacity and we have the spiritual resources to be ready for whatever we face in life. And humility enables us to face the comfortable and the uncomfortable, to face what's easy and what's hard. from Scripture, metaphorically, to eat Jesus as flesh is not easy to digest. It takes a lot of effort to chew on it. It's not fast food. It's not tasty. It is hard to eat. Remember the story of the feeding of the 5,000 with 5 loaves? In the Greek text, it was 5 barley loaves. And barley is food for the poor. It's a poor people's food. Hard to eat, hard to chew on, not tasty. But they couldn't get wheat bread, the easier and tastier ones to eat. So Jesus, in this metaphor of the bread from heaven, meant that this bread isn't fine. This isn't wheat bread, but a humble barley loaf that is central to our life. This bread is our consuming passion for where to experience the reality of life in its fullness and what it takes. It takes effort. It takes risks. It takes commitment. It takes reality and truth and honesty and faith, respect and peace. These are the characteristics of humility. And Jesus says, switch on to them within. For these are what Paul refers to in the Ephesians reading as the armor of God, the dress code for our spiritual life. For our struggle is against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. And where are these heavenly places? In our heart, where there is already a mutual interconnectedness in the relationship we are invited to, that is our oneness with God and with one another. Jesus' words, though, can be heard as both reassuring and encouraging, or demeaning and belittling. But so do we have the potential to give life or to destroy life in what we say and sometimes in what we do, even unintentionally. Humility is the essence of love, and always with the power to transform for the better. Because humility sees and discerns with clarity the sacred in the ordinary. We all have knowledge. We know stuff, a lot of it. Sometimes knowledge puffs up, but love builds up. Love always builds up. Love makes things all grow and flourish and enables all to be all they can be. Love is hard, and it takes humility to digest what loving God and loving neighbor means. May we see our invitation to humility as a call to live life with love in its fullness. Amen. Thank you for your ongoing support for the vision, mission, and ministry of the church. We dedicate our offering. Let us pray. We bring our gifts to you, Lord God, in gratitude and hope. In dedicating them, we dedicate ourselves again to be channels of love, grace, and peace in the world. Bless our living and our giving. Amen.
Our prayers of the people. God's word from Psalm 65 says, "Come, let us bow down in worship. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker, for he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture, the flock under his care." What a comfort these words are to us individually and collectively, to know we are under your care, Abba Father. Your whole world continues to groan under the burden of this pandemic that never abates. Jesus has assured us that he is with us always, even to the end of the age. We can be absolutely confident that God is continually with us and in us by the power of his Holy Spirit. We can face all things through his strength, his hope, and his tender love for us. Thank you for stretching your arms out towards us on the cross through your Son, Jesus. We long to feel those arms around us, comforting and sustaining us. Praying to you, Abba Father, is the highest expression of our dependence on you, and we need you every hour. Every hour we need you. We bring our requests to you in submission and patiently wait for your wise answers. We pray for those who are unwell in our church community and those who are tuning into our online service. Please touch them with your healing power and encourage them in their walk to recovery. We pray especially for those who are grieving the loss of a loved one and are experiencing emptiness and loneliness. Fill these black holes with your warm, comforting presence and gently lead those feeling abandoned into new paths of hope and unexpected joys. We thank you for your 24/7 presence in our lives through prayer, your word, and the empathy and compassion of your people. We pray for our leaders that you would keep them strong in purpose and fill them with your Spirit's wisdom, humility, and guidance. Help them learn from constructive criticism and shield them from destructive criticism. Give them precious time with their loved ones and families and refresh them mentally, physically, and spiritually. Please protect the frontline workers in our communities. Thank you for their faithfulness in serving under exhausting and difficult circumstances. Help those in our communities who are angered and frustrated by the restrictions we are all living under. Give them new perspectives that will enable them to cope through this difficult time of compliance. We ask that they may seek reliable information channels and not be confused by incorrect sources of conspiracy theories. We ask that you will bless and sustain our young children who are cooped up and not free to run and play with each other. Strengthen the challenged parents and fill their homes with your love and support. Father God, bless and uphold our school students and especially those facing exams leading to the next phase of their learning. Fill these young people with your shalom and enable them to think clearly and learn necessary information before them. Please gift the teachers with understanding and creative ways to teach their students. We ask you to help those young people suffering mental illness, intensified by these restrictions. Give them courage to speak about their anxieties and provide listening and encouraging ears to support them. We pray for the people of Afghanistan and especially the women and children that they may not suffer under this new regime of power in their country. Please help them reach the full potential you have placed in their lives. We ask that you work a miracle in that country to bring peace and a stable government. We also pray for the safety of all who want to evacuate from the country and those international rescuing angels who are desperately trying to secure them. We pray for the people of Haiti, that world help would reach them after the devastating earthquake and now the torrential rain from Storm Grace. We pray for the countries in the Northern Hemisphere experiencing floods and fires. Abba, Father, your world needs you more than ever. Help us in our small corner to be the people you want us to be. May we be the hands, feet, voice, and love of Jesus to whoever you connect us with. Focus our eyes on you and your purposes and grace to steer us from discouragement and being overwhelmed. No matter what happens around us, we know we can always trust in your love and faithfulness. Jesus has won it, and your word is full of reassurance and truth we can trust. Help us live every minute of the gift of life you have graciously given us, being empowered by your Holy Spirit and serving in your presence. We now join together in the prayer that Jesus taught us. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our sins, as we forgive those who sin against us. Save us from the time of trial, and deliver us from evil. For the kingdom, the power, and the glory are yours now and forever. Amen. Now we will join together to sing hymn 136 from Together in Song, There's a Wideness in God's Mercy.
For the blessing of God be with you always. May all that is in you be blessed, so you are a blessing to all people, in all places, at all times. Go strongly in faith and in peace, and may the feet of God walk with you. Amen.